I transferred from Markrite to here because I left the industry and came back again, to be honest with you. I came here because it was a bit bigger pit and it was going to last a lot longer than Markrite if I was stopping here till it closed, like, you know what I mean? And I just started here and got in with a team, and it was a good life, actually. Most of it was a good life. It was hard work, though, to what it would be nowadays. Very hard work. Lots of blokes here. And I come after, obviously, when Cage went down. You know, like, you have to be about, aren't you? Because, anyway, that's, yeah. There's nothing to say about my life in the colliery. The good workmates, good people to work with. Very best place I've worked for a lot of years. I'm retired now, but it's best people I've worked with in regards your working and your safety and working with people and grouping together. And if you fall out, nobody falls out. They forget it straight away, if you know what I mean. Why you don't pit anyway. Yeah, basically, it's a good life. It were hard but good. Well, I worked at Markham, but I lived at 80, which was a miners' community, and it was a miners' estate sort of thing. And most of them went to Arkwright, that's where I started, like. And one was a shop and a miners' welfare where everybody congregated. That's how life was going in them days, if you know what I mean. You went to the shop for your bits and bobs, because it was a big down steeple to get to the shop, to get to town to buy anything. You got to come back on bus. And everybody circled around this fields where school were, or around in miners' welfare. Some rough nights there, though. A lot of rough nights in the miners' welfare, let me tell you. A lot of rough nights. Yeah, but everybody was the same. Everybody was the same. If you run out to coal, you got somebody off somebody else, because you got a coal allowance, you see. When you worked at pit, I can't remember, so many years, 12 loads a year I think it were, free, or you could have money, whichever, right? So some people had money, and then they got their relief of the coal off the other people, and they got money for it as well, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, houses were all right. It was very close knit, and you knew everybody, because they all went through here to the pit and back again on different shifts, right? You know what I mean? So. The family life, kids were all right there, because I had 2 kids when I was there. And they went to local school. They enjoyed it there, till they moved, like. I can't tell you much more about family life, because everybody was the same. Everybody was the same. A lot of stress with a lot of people. Because of working, I think it were. Because it was stressful work as well. But you've got to go to get your money, haven't you? To buy your stuff. To buy your goods and what have you. So, yeah, it's about the family life where I lived. I didn't live at Ducklington, but most of miners were, well, Markham were an old piece. They come from different pits, you know, Arkwright, Shirebrook, Ireland, and all things like that. They all community together, this one pit and joined together. So a lot of people are getting to know each other because they didn't come with them from another pit. Well, they come from another pit, but they're all kept together in a bit clicky until they got to know everybody at Markham, like, you know. But and there's 2 pits here, named 4 and number 2. You know what I mean? And now we're down number 2. So that's the family life, though. Outside of the industry, a lot of drinking went on. A hell of a lot of drinking, especially at welfare. And they'd all fight every night, but come Monday morning, they're all back to work again. That's how it worked, to be honest with you. You were like that, yeah. I was working at Arkwright, but that particular morning I had overlaid. I live at 80, so all ambulances, fire engines, and rescue team from Stone Gravels, they all come that way, you see. And all this was going off from the rescue thing. I thought, I risked Arkwright. I didn't know it was going off. I mean, because there were vehicle after vehicle after vehicle. And I thought, I bet it's Arkwright. I don't know why, it's because they had overlaid. That's why I thought it was Arkwright. You know what I mean? And it weren't anyway, it was Markham. And that's about the most I remember about that day, to be honest with you, except on the news and everything, and everybody talking about it everywhere. Harpit went in a bit, the REM come out at Harpit early that day, I remember now, yeah. Because they were overlaid, but they let people come out. It's that day off sort of thing, because of what had been going off, while they're trying to sort it all out. Because it was a big thing, weren't it? A very big thing that way, yeah. I know it's horrible to say, but it helped me because I got my face training done after that. Because there was a big long list. Everybody did face training at Markham. And the list was as long as you're out, longer than that. But after that cage went down, it went from that to nothing. And we wanted to do it. So we were able to get your face training done a bit quicker. I think I know somebody who were in it. I know one person, and he went to work in, after he didn't die, after he'd recovered from everything, he went to work in check room, where you get checks out. He went to work in the time room, that's where he went to work, yeah, in there. So they gave him another job, didn't they? Sort of thing, yeah. And that's all about the day. There are a lot of things afterwards, right? There are a lot of do's and talking about it, and down at welfare. That's all they talked about for about 6 months, well, a month then. Might talk about it a month, but that's all it were all the time. you know, and I was this and I was that and I was other. That's about it, what I recall about it, to be honest with you. I know, because I went at that pit, I was at Arcrat, but I heard them all going past, you see, so I made me think it was my pit because they're overlaid, but I don't want to repeat myself, if you know what I mean. But that's what I remember about that bit, that yes, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Is there anything else about your life at Markham that you'd like to tell us about? Have you covered everything?
Well, I worked at Arcrat, that were a drift mine, and it was wet through, everything was wet through and cold, and on this hill like that. Markham was a long wall face all on them, and they're all hot, it was hot. And the place I worked at Markham, I think it was about 2 miles out. When we worked a 7.25 hour shift, but it took us an hour to get there and an hour to get back. And the only thing that ever worried me when I worked at Markham, if there were a fire, because I know I won't get back. Because when there's a fire, you can't see nothing. And if I got 2 miles to come back crawling along the floor, I don't think I'd have made it. Well, I don't think anybody would, to be honest with you. That's the only thing that worried me about Markham, to be honest with you. And there they were like 7-foot seams. Where I worked, the biggest were a 5-foot seam, I think, or a 5-foot seam. I mean, I started work in a 4-foot seam on a big lock like that. So when I come here, it was a holiday, really, in one way. Standing and walking up down face, sort of crawling on the thing up and down, crawl all day. It was not an holiday, but it was a lot better here than my other pit because of conditions. And the only thing with me, it was very hot and dry, red hot and dry, but all on level like, you know what I mean? I say I'm comfortable on face because of how light it were. And I got in with a good team of men working with him as well. When I started, when I come here, like, you know what I mean? That's about the environment sort of thing. Where I remember that pit down at Markham anyway. I got a little bit worse because it were wet and slopey and everything run with compressed air nearly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Great, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or have you covered all the things that you had on your?
No. I've wrote some notes here. I didn't know what you were going to ask me. You see. No. Yeah. I like working on face. I like working with blokes on face. I enjoyed the job. You never thought about safety. You never thought about safety. You never thought one thing about it. You didn't have any dust masks, did they? You didn't have them. That's why everybody's got a bad chest nowadays. He's with himself. Anyway, yeah. No, they were good times. I mean, I worked for 12 years, but 12 years seemed as a long time when I look back at it. I wish I'd been working there now, because everything would be wireless, wouldn't it? If I worked at pit, everything would be wireless. Wouldn't it? Send that up and send that up, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be link and chain, would it? And things like that. And everything pulled and tugged. And everything like that, it'd all be what? They only want 3 people there at pit, probably. All run on wireless, electric light. There's no electric out points, static or anything making. We're wireless, is there, if you know what I mean? So it's more safer than it would be then, wouldn't it? Yeah, but I liked Arcrat, started there first, but Markham were better because of conditions. 12 years I worked there and I moved to Plymouth after that. And that's about it.